Thank you for your time, friend. One of three things brought you to this video. Either a friend shared it with you, your algorithms think you might like it or might hate it, or you saw me acting crazy or going crazy. I never thought I would make a YouTube channel. I thought YouTube is for people that want to be famous, or for people that think it's easier to be in front of a camera in front of the entire world than to go work. Now, the reason for my channel is I feel it's obligated based on some of my recent discoveries, and I'll explain quickly why. But before I do that, I want to make sure that you understand I value your time and that I'm going to keep this video as concise, quickly as possible. And that's why I'm kind of stumbling, as I haven't tried to record this 50 times over. I told myself if I was going to do a channel like this, it would have to be like a one and done type video every day. I don't want to spend a bunch of editing time, a bunch of time adding a bunch of fancy things to it, a bunch of time editing all my hiccups and hang-ups. With that being said, this is my first video, so I am a little bit nervous, but I am also very excited to share what I have to share with you. But before I go on, I'm gonna guess one of the three most important things, or the three most important things in your life. It's probably your health, your family, finances, God, some of these things. I talk to different families every day, and they all say the same things. So if your kids are on that list, if your health is on that list, if you want to get closer to those things, then just give me 1 or 2 minutes of your time. And if I keep earning more minutes of your time, then let's keep going. And with that being said, I want to quickly bring some light to the value of your time. Because if you use the snooze button, I just listened to a podcast the other day, it made me sick. I don't use the snooze button. But if you use the snooze button every day, 2 or 3 times, that ends up being 2 or 3 years of your life that you get shitty sleep. So if you're doing that, or if you've sat through a movie that sucked halfway through and still finished the other half just to see if it might get better, maybe you can do that with this video. If not, that's cool. I don't need you to watch this shit. I'm here to put this out there for people that want more. With that being said, I'm here to create a duplicatable system. I have been after fitness my whole life. My dad was a gymnast. I've never been able to move like my dad, even though I've always tried to move like him. Now, I've always been very athletic. Anybody that knows me knows I'm athletic and knows that that's important to me. However, the standard, we typically try to hold ourselves to standards. That's the easiest way to accomplish anything, whether it's financials or relationships or physicality, whatever you're at. If you just raise your standard, that's the easiest way to change. Don't try to do anything else, just make it the new standard and you'll be there. So my dad was a gymnast. This is the standard that I grew up with. That's my dad. That's my mom. That's a one-handed handstand. My dad plank himself, bridge himself, and go into a one-handed handstand like that. I tried to be a gymnast early on in life. I never could. I was very good at soccer. I eventually didn't keep playing soccer. I got into video games. I got fat. I got made fun of in middle school. At the end of the day, I got after it, started lifting weights, kind of like Arnold style, just like every other gym bro. But around the time I got into my 30s, right, I had ups and downs. Point being is, I realized that the more I'm exercising, the more I'm lifting, the harder it is to get moving, the less athletic I'm becoming. And I wrestle, I do jujitsu, that's one of my desserts. And it seemed like the more I exercise, the worse I get. And I quit lifting. I started trying to stretch a lot. I started trying to swim more. I started trying to walk more. I started trying to do things that would make me more limber. Tried doing yoga, hot yoga. I love it. I still do it. Point is, nothing really gave me a high return on investment until I made some adjustments in my philosophy, and that's what I'm here to share with you, because there's several layers to this onion, and I wouldn't ever do this if I didn't think it was, I feel obligated to do this, y'all. So with that being said, let me see here where to start, because I took a lot of notes and I don't want to make this long. So what's in it for you? That's what you need to know, and what you can do, and how I'm here to help, because this is going to be a daily thing. Here to create a vehicle, Noah's Ark, bad jokes. At the end of the day, this is gonna be a vehicle to get the most return on your time and your investment, to get moving the way you're supposed to move, like a child. And I'll explain the philosophy. At the end of the day, you see how kids move freely? I mean, kids that play outside all day, they move freely, they run, they have energy, they skip. They're always having so much energy. The reason why is because they move on a fascia-based system. Our muscles, our bodies, we move on 3 different good, better, best. That's how the way I can most simply try to explain everything, the way I understand it. One is fascia, one is muscles. Muscles will take over. The other one is basically just nerves, like you're dead, but your nerves are still just going. Now, at the end of the day, my mission statement is to revolutionize the way we view the body and training system, and understanding of fascia, and being anecdotal evidence. Going to be anecdotal evidence, and anybody that follows my program will also be anecdotal evidence that beats the science to it. Accomplish what I consider to be impossible feats based on where I'm at in life. If I had a program that did something that allowed me to accomplish these things, it's just undeniable that this is real. And if it never gets there and it doesn't work, then this is a whole big waste of time, and cool, I don't care. But if it does, and it does, and it does, this is like a documented journey of it, and then you can see it when it's landing, and then you can be a part of it from the get-go, or you can be a part of it once I've arrived. Now, not arrived, but arrived to where the proof is there, because right now I'm just becoming aware of it. That's why I'm starting it. I'm 3 weeks into my journey, 2 weeks into my journey. That's what I mean. Now, I'm also trying to create a tribe of people that are going to be sharing this, because this is knowledge that needs to be shared. Once you understand how it works and you start feeling it, you're gonna wanna share it. And if you follow my system here that I'm putting on YouTube, and you follow my system that I'm gonna do with you physically, those 2 things will free your body so that you can move the way you want to move, the way you're supposed to move, the way we're all supposed to move, that none of us do. For you financially, because we're in the system, we're consumers. If you aren't paying for the product, guess what? You are the product. That's why I'm whispering it, because nobody knows about it. You're the product if you're not paying for it. So I see people on their phones all day. I put my phone in my locker. I put my phone away, but people are a slave to their phone. So if you're on your phone all day, guess what? You could be putting into it, getting out of it, instead of you giving it and it getting you. Does that make sense? So don't tell me you don't have time to make it. Don't tell me you have to. I don't want to hear any excuses. At the end of the day, this program is so easy to do. It's the secret sauce. It's what you've been missing, and it's too good to be true. So I just need 1% of your trust. Let me earn the other 99%. If you're still going here, thanks. We made it this far. Now, the first thing I need you to do, in case you want to change your life, is you need to focus on being grateful. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. I walk around people all day. Nobody's focusing on their emotions. Nobody's in control of it. I want to make sure you understand something, y'all. We are vibrations. Everything is a vibrational energy. If you pay attention to animals, if you pay attention to dogs, they can sense your vibrations. They can sense your pheromones. They are in touch with it. You can become in touch with it. So the first thing I want you to do is realize you can only focus on one thing at a time. And it's up to you if you want to choose to focus on being grateful, choose to focus on having gratitude, because that's one of those most powerful, powerful emotions. It's one of the most attractive emotions. People want to do things for people that are grateful when they do it. You want to do more when you're grateful. You can only focus on one thing at a time. It's really simple. Get a gratitude rock. Carry it around with you. Too much, too hard, that's too scary, too much to focus on being grateful. That's okay. Start small. Start small. That's what you're supposed to do with all things. Make it really small. Add to it a little bit at a time so it gets easier. Don't overwhelm yourself. I don't expect you to be able to carry a big rock like that. No way. That would be a nightmare. Oh my God. Just carry a little rock. Don't put it in your fanny pack. And if you don't have a fanny pack, what are you doing? Put it in your pocket. Put it in your pocket all the time. That way it's separate. So when you touch your pocket, you touch your rock, you think about something that you're grateful for. But don't just think about easy stuff that you're grateful for, like my health or my kids or my family or this. That's good. That's really good to do that. But that's not what your problem is. Your problem is that you're not grateful for your problems. You don't understand that you get to have problems. You get to deal with those things. And if you think about the hardest thing you've ever gone through and what you're going through right now that you might think is hard, you could weigh those two. Probably one weighs out the other, right? So no to comparison. I'm not going to talk about my problems. I don't have any. I'm grateful for everything that I've ever had to go through and still going through. So with that being said, this is November. This is the first video. First thing I want you to do is focus on being grateful every single day this month, if it's possible. Yeah, should be. And don't just focus on being grateful about easy things. Focus on being grateful about bad things that you've been through. Like, focus on one of the hardest things that you've been through. For me, I'm not trying to look for sympathy or empathy. I'll just be real with you because I try to keep it real, keep it concise. One of the hardest things I've ever been through was when my parents divorced. That was when I was about 12. It was cool. I didn't think it mattered that much at the time. Like it did, but I was in so much reactive mode and I was trying to tread water, keep going. At the end of the day, that was the first major dose of uncertainty that hit me in life. And I think that viewing things from a point of uncertainty is a really strong way to view them. That's one of the best things that came from that, is that I'm always viewing things from a point of uncertainty. I'm not just jumping in. So at the end of the day, it also made me grow up really quick. It also made me move around a lot. So I got to explore and see different areas and different schools and got to expose myself to different environments. It also made me learn how to always be the new kid and not have a lot of people that I depend on to fit in. So at the end of the day, the second hardest thing I've ever been through was my own divorce. That sucked. That was painful. That hurt. I did a lot of bad things. I learned a lot. I'm grateful for it though, because my life got so much better after it. And I learned so much from it. And you can only learn from your mistakes. You're always learning. You're always growing. You never arrive. You never want to have an arrive syndrome. And you always want to understand that the first step in learning something is starting to learn how little you actually know about it. If you think you know, if you think you're an expert, you better have at least 10,000 hours, at least. Because you don't know anything unless you have at least 10,000. You're just beginning to learn what you don't know before 10,000. So those are one or two things I want to say. One of the other things that's hard that I've been through was beating cancer. Yeah, thyroid cancer. not bad one, not compared to a prostate, breast, whatever, liver, heart, all those things. My cancer was just a sheer reminder of my own mortality. That was the most great, that was one of the best things that ever happened to me. 2-3 years ago, everything's clean and good now. I'm not looking for the sympathy or empathy or anything like that. All I'm trying to say is that if I just walked around like a cancer victim and made that my story and tried to lead with that all the time, or that my parents divorced and I'm so sad of this, or I got a divorce so many years ago and that's who I am now and I'm still lingering on that or this, those things are ways and lessons and things that I grew from and moved forwards with. And I could focus on 1,000 other things, like my car broken down. That's a problem, but that's an area to make my car reliable. Or I learned how to change my ignition coil myself and save $300 every time I go to the mechanic. It's an area for me to use YouTube. YouTube is your new college, you guys. You wanna learn about something, you're gonna go to school for it. There's guides on YouTube, there's study guides on YouTube. When I'm learning to try to pass something, I go on YouTube to study how to do it. So if you're paying to go to school, you're probably doing it to make someone else happy. Because if you were doing it, unless you're doing it to accomplish that goal, that's your dream. But if it's just to learn about something, you can learn about something anywhere online now. Now, the first 20 years of your life, you guys, you are at your parents' mercy, you're at your environment's mercy. You don't have much control of the first 20 years. The next 10 years of your life, you're kind of celebrating your first chances of freedom, your first areas where you're gonna learn and what you wanna do, you're trying to make other people happy, you're trying to balance all the things. Then around 30 to 40, you start learning what it takes to make you happy. You start learning how fucked up you are. You start learning all the areas that you need to work on. And hopefully you start learning the games that you need to start playing in order to start winning. 40 to 60, those are the glory years, y'all. Those are the years that you need to capitalize on, where you had the ability to have all the wisdom that you've accumulated, all the youth. Hopefully you've gotten into the best shape of your life by 40, 50. My black belt, he chokes me out. He's 50, he moves like a gazelle. I've seen other 50-year-olds that limp and crawl. So you determine how you want to get through life, what your quality of life you want it to be like, physically, financially, mentally, all those things. It's up to you. Now, for your lessons, for what I'm here to share with you all, we move on a fascia system, okay? Muscles and fascia. I don't want to rant here. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna recommend 1 or 2 things that you need to do, and then I'll post more videos tomorrow, because this is just more like an introduction video. Anytime I click on someone's YouTube channel, I look at their oldest video. How long ago did this person that has the right to pop up on my algorithm, how long ago did they pop up? How long ago did they pop up and make an account and decide to do something? And what were they trying to do? What was it that got them to go online to do a YouTube video? Was it a lift? Was it an art project? Was it a do-it-yourself? Was it a video with their dog or the kid? What was it? What got them excited? Then I look at how many years that account's been out, how many years and how many views, how many subscribers, how many videos they posted from then till then. It's a really simple recipe, guys. It's a really simple recipe, and it's, if you post 500 or 600 videos or 200 or 300 videos inside of 5 years, I mean, all my jokes are bad, y'all, but if you even did drugs that many times inside of 5 years, that's barely considered a drug problem. So you can be disciplined. You can be disciplined with YouTube. You can beat the algorithms. You can make it work for you. It's a simple recipe. If you're into sales, if you know how to sell, I got something for you to sell. It's called electricity. It's in our body. Nobody has it plugged in though. You don't believe me? Well, you think I'm going crazy? That's cool. You want me to show you the analytical side of it? I can do that. That's gonna come. You can see the anecdotal side of it. That's gonna come. You wanna wait till it to come before you jump on board? That's cool. You can do that. At the end of the day, I'm gonna explain really quick as much as I can, then I'm gonna cut it so you can go from there. I want you to pretend when you were 3 months old that I put socks on your hands and I put oven mitts on your hands. And I made you wear those socks and oven mitts 20 hours a day or 18 hours a day. And when you tried to eat spaghetti or with your cereal bowl, you're eating with those oven mitts in your hands. Yeah, and then after 30 years, I asked you to take those oven mitts off, take those socks off. I invite you to my family Thanksgiving dinner, and I ask you to cut the turkey. How operational do you think your hands are gonna be? How much do you think you're gonna be able to use them? You're gonna look something like this. You're gonna manipulate them something like this. Okay, and none of this is my research, y'all. I am not smart enough to do this, okay? I'm just smart enough to YouTube endlessly because I'm obsessed. And the reason why I'm obsessed is because when I'm 35, I'm realizing I'm moving way worse than I wanna move. And if I don't get any better, I'm not gonna be able to move the way I wanna move when I'm 50. Does that make sense? So picture your hands in oven mitts your whole life. Starting to make sense here? That's what you're doing with your feet. That's what you're doing with your feet, guys. We're not supposed to do that to our feet. Now, I'm not saying you can't wear gloves when you're gonna handle some wood. I'm not saying you need to totally break the social culture and go out barefoot all day or all that stuff. That's not what I'm trying to get at. Although that would probably be ideal in a lot of ways, but that's never hearsay. What I'm saying is we did that so early on. Imagine if you just took those oven mitts off the baby 3 months all the way to 7 years, 10 years. You're still gonna not have the function of a hand the way you're supposed to. And our hands as well, we don't have the function in our hands the way we're supposed to either. I don't know how much of this is intentional from society or how much of this is just a product of consumers or what, but my hands aren't normal. That's not supposed to be like that. And this is what I've worked for the last 2 weeks to get back, okay? My feet aren't normal. I'm working on that too, okay? We have fascia. When you cut a chicken, there's that film on the chicken. That's called fascia. That's what moves. Why do you think a dog can wake up? I've always wondered this. Why can a dog wake up and hit 2 stretches and fetch the ball at full speed, never pull a hamstring? Even an old dog. Why do you think a bird can dust off its wings and then fly quickly? Because they're animals and we're not? No, it's because they move on the fascia system. If that bird had a broken wing that never got repaired, it wouldn't be able to do that. If it had a wing that never got developed, it wouldn't be able to fly. And I got news for you, bud. You got a foot that's never been developed, and that's why you can't fly. Yeah. And I got even crazier news. If you want to jump on board, there's people in the NBA. There's professional basketball players. Yeah, they're aesthetic monsters. They're giraffes. They're tall, but they also move like giraffes or like Eiffel Towers. They're clunky and they're slow. And we see the freaks. We see the Kobe's, the Jordans. And I'm not even a basketball player, guys. Anybody that knows me knows I don't know shit about sports. But I know the ones that stand out, like Jordan and Kobe and LeBron. And I see how they move and how they walk. And I pay attention to how people walk. I pay attention to how people move. So I've been researching, and there's people that are onto this, and I'll give you all their links and stuff. I don't want to take credit for anybody's work. But at the end of the day, this is kind of like jiu-jitsu. It's philosophy. It's conceptual. There's not one way. Once you understand how it works, once you get an understanding of your body, you can manipulate it the way you want. If you want to be a hunchback and have hunchback fascia and look like that forever, you can do that. If you want to have very strong hands and very strong feet and be able to slam dunk and be able to climb mountains and hold on to shit with one finger, you can do that too. So I'm going to explain how to get started, and then I'm going to keep content going here and there. You need to start with your feet. You need to pretend you have clay all over your body, y'all, everywhere. You need to start with your feet and your hands. You need to create as much pain anywhere on your body. This is crazy. Anywhere on your body that you touch, you have areas here, you have areas in your forearm, areas in your shoulder, areas in your triceps, areas in your lats, across your collarbone. I have people always showing me, oh man, you're so red here. I know, I'm figuring it out now. It's because my fascia is all fucked up. I had surgery. I have scar tissue, and my fascia, I never addressed it. All I did is just stretch. So when you go to the dentist and they chip the plaque out of your teeth and you have all that newfound space to brush your teeth, that's like what you do when you address with these adhesions. It creates new space. Your muscles are supposed to move on a sliding system, okay? First thing you wanna do is just get a ball, okay? Some sort of roller. Roll your feet. Roll your feet, 2-3 minutes. You have to think of this stuff like putty, okay? I used to foam roll, and I would watch people foam roll, and I thought, this is a fucking waste of time. Why is anybody doing this? It's because I was doing it wrong. And it's because I didn't open my mind to it. You have to foam roll, you have to get a lacrosse ball, maybe a tennis ball. Just go outside and grab a rock. Anything you do, you need to just be able to put pressure on your feet. And I guarantee none of you can do this. I guarantee none of you can stand on a rock like that. This will make you scream. Guarantee it. In the center of your arch, make you scream. Anytime you hear clicking or popping, that's your fascia trying to clear those adhesions off. Picture a wire running from my toe all the way up to my groin, into my butt, into my fingertip, all the way to here, okay? I know that sounds crazy, but I just need you to forget everything you know. Get this fucking fascia broken up. Go between your feet like this. This is a good one, right here. I know I'm crazy, guys. I know I'm crazy. I know. All the good ones are. Break your feet up. Open your feet. This hurts. This is tight. I'm just getting started, you guys. I'm only 2 weeks in. You can catch up to me. You can beat me. You can work harder than me. Get your fascia loosened up here in your feet. Create pain. Make it hurt. Okay? Same thing with your grips. Right here. This one here. Make it, and I'm talking, you have to go 2-3 minutes. 2-3 minutes. 2-3 minutes. Roll each foot. 2 or 3 minutes. You should be able to do this. Did you know that? I don't know if y'all know that. You should be able to lift your toes like that. I had to work to get this. This took me about a week and a half to get this. You should be able to lift your heel and grab stuff with this toe. You're supposed to be able to grab. A lot of you can't do that. That's what we're missing. That right there. If this was our hands, I'm not gonna get too into it right now, but if this was our hands, if you look at a gymnast, they can bridge their hand up from here. Not just bridge it, but they can grip while pinning the index, while pinning that index knuckle. We don't have our hands. Your hands are screwed up from texting. Your hands are screwed up from texting. Mine were. You're from texting, from driving. Remember when you're a kid and you're writing your homework and your hands keep cramping up? Keep cramping up. Are you lifting weights? Do you lift weights with dumbbells? And you're curling a dumbbell? You're deadlifting, you're doing pulls, you're doing bench press, everything you're doing is with a curled grip. You're curling up your fascia. You're training your hands to want to stay closed forever. Is that what you want? I remember when I used to deadlift all the time. This video, I'm gonna cut it off, you guys. When I used to deadlift all the time, I couldn't open my hands. You're supposed to be opening your hands and be able to pivot them up. Watch my progress videos in a few weeks. This is video number one. This is me trying to bridge my hand up. That's where it's at. It's my other hand. That's where it's at. This is what my foot looks like. This is the first video. These are before pics, y'all. You don't want to see my physique. You don't want to see that. It doesn't matter. This right here. I don't have this arch. The fascia is supposed to connect all the way up to your glutes. When you squeeze, like you're trying to pick up your underwear, you're supposed to feel it in your glutes, not just your ankle. Not just your ankle, not just your toe. When LeBron James picks up his underwear, he feels it in his butt. That's because he has a better neural connection with his body. Most people don't understand how important that is. I had surgery. I lost the ability to lift up my right arm for about a year, okay? I could not bring my arm up to my side. It was very embarrassing. What I'm saying is, I know what it's like to try to lift your eyebrow. I can't lift my left eyebrow, my right eyebrow, whatever it is. Same thing with my arm. When you stand up, you have to flex your butt consciously. When your brain fires up its computer, it does not detect its video card. Your butt should be flexed automatically when you stand up. Mine doesn't. I have to think about it. LeBron James doesn't have to think about it. There's a way to rebuild that neural connection. I'm gonna add more. You can Google more after this. You can YouTube it. You can figure it out yourself. Or you can just wait. Wait for me to tell you. And if not, don't wait. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. This isn't for you. This is for me when I start over. This is for my kids, in case I'm not there to give it to them. This isn't for you. But you can be a part of it. You can be a part of something great. But in order to do that, you gotta start small. You gotta be in control of your emotions. Stop being a fucking slave to them. Like a child, you're gonna be a slave to your autopilot meat bag. You are not your meat bag, you guys. You are something bigger than your meat bag. Don't be a slave to your autopilot. Your emotions are there to keep you comfortable. Get angry, get emotional, get grateful. Love you guys.